A very good evening to you, dear viewers. Welcome to the interview on Lina TV. This program is brought to you by Lina Media Limited, and it's a program brought to you every Saturday at 8 p.m. Our guest for this week is Muhammad Dzukogi, simply known as BM Dzukogi.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Well, Nigerians, we are meeting the pioneer of literature in our lives, in the lives of the young literary individuals in Niger State and Nigeria as a whole. And it gives me great joy that coming back after several years, seeing that you're aging graciously and you're also not relenting in building and leaving your footprints on the sands of time. Sir, what is your driving force? Because I know I graduated in 2000. Yes, 2000. And since then, that 2000 is how many years back? That's about 20-something years back. Right. And you are still in the business of building young children, younger generation, and you're still looking like nothing is happening, like you're happy in what you're doing. What's your driving force?
I mean, the law is there for putting those who are disobeying, in place. That's one. Two, workings of society, for example, education that we are discussing now, depends on the resources to run it. If you are talking about school, say a secondary school, that should concern us more, it's primary and secondary school. Where are the classrooms? You are the one to build the classroom or me?
No, the government, yeah.
Where are the laboratories? Where is the library? The sporting facilities? Where is the boarding accommodation? The generation started from the time you say, okay, this section will go to boarding, this section will go to day, to ease, access for some others.
Yeah.
But now, nobody. And the access you sought for people by creating day has made everything degenerative in the school. So it's not the parent or the child that will bring chairs and tables to the class.
No.
It's the government.
That's true.
We don't have them.
Yeah.
But we have them in private schools. Why do we have them in private schools?
Why?
The leadership is working at private schools. The leadership, anything that is private in Nigeria today will work.
But sir, do you understand? Have you noticed that, I don't know, the private school is working also because most of the leaders also own schools in Nigeria?
The difference is own schools. The school is mine.
So they are not doing the needful in the public.
Oh no.
And then because they are busy establishing private schools.
Private universities all over the places. And the private universities are working.
Yeah.
The private schools, secondary schools are working.
Yes.
The private primary schools are working.
Why so?
Leadership. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So as long as the leadership does not focus on public schools in the name of God and in the name of the country,
yes,
nothing will work.
Thank you.
This is the issue.
There's
nothing to say beyond this.
Yes.
Aha.
Yeah, I've heard what I wanted to hear. Yes, sir. Moving forward, because we're actually running out of time, and before I go on a short break, I would want to ask: you have a brainchild. Let's narrow our discussion now to why we're here.
Okay.
Yes. What gave birth? What birthed Higher First? Why Higher First in Niger State and in Nigeria as it were? I think it has covered virtually every state in Nigeria. So let us in on it.
Okay, yes, it's simply a continuation of what we have been doing before its birth. But specifically, it's the sponsor who just use Facebook. That's why you could use so many things
online.
it's not just online, so many small things for greater things. In any case, any big thing you see around you was once a small idea. Yeah. He simply did an inbox and said, how could I come in? I was, as usual, I was blaming politicians. I was blaming Lolo and Co. You understand?
Yeah.
Specifically because, you know, the dresses they were wearing during campaign 2019, you know, were correct dresses with APC and Co inscribed on them. The t-shirts were great. The shirts were looking very great. You understand? Away from the blue diamond we were wearing those days.
Yeah.
That singlet.
Yes.
You understand? And the blue diamond of the years before, where we just write something. So I thought, these people have this money to spend on this beautiful dress because it was creative, so correct.
Yeah.
You see now they are doing agbada. Those days they were not doing agbada now.
Yes.
They were not doing agbada. But this is correct. It's not bad. It is to gain attraction.
Yeah.
For campaign. But for me, I thought they could also do this for promoting issues on drug abuse.
Yeah.
On literature. On farming. You understand? People will wear them with things inscribed, especially for children. That was the subject of my commentary on Facebook.
Okay.
You understand? And then by the night, I just saw a message, inbox.
An inbox, yeah.
And then said, how can I come in? I said, it's simple. It's okay, give me a draft. I want to do something like competitions that I will name after somebody.
Oh, wow. Wow.
The here's first is Hadiza Ibrahim Aliu Schools Festival. And Hadiza Ibrahim Aliu is the wife of Mala Ibrahim Aliu. That's how the thing started. And I said, oh, this is it. And then we came back to ourselves and then we sat in group and then designed what you are seeing now.
Wow.
What we are seeing now is actually as a result of his inputs on several fronts. Even the last edition, he added something. Yeah. Where a school that wins year's first will get 1 million naira to do a science project. Invent something. Yeah. And Hima is the first beneficiary. We just gave the award in July. Wow. They have the 1 million naira now. And trying to invent. So you know, now look at this now. That's a private person thinking on behalf of all of us. Yeah. And even using his resources to do the thing. You understand? Yeah. So for me, even if the whole schools now become private, no problem. Because if we don't even have the private schools now, it means Nigeria cannot compete effectively in the world. That's true. You understand? That's true. I'm not saying in America all schools appear to be public. Yeah. Almost all. You have less than 1% that is private. You understand? Yeah. But they are being run according to private dictations and according to the country's philosophy. You understand? The things we also enjoyed in college those days. It was working in Nigeria anyway. Here is another student. Okay, he is talking about how Hilltop has gone bad. Yeah. You understand? It is because during his time, it was not as bad as this. Why? Because people ran the place very well. So he has first actually started like this. And year in, year out, this is the 6th edition coming up. The thing keeps, growing in profile, and I just pity the sponsors because they are spending. Thank God that strong philosophy in life he has, and I guess that is the driving force for continue to fund it. Yes. So he said, okay, Aja Hadiza Ibrahim Aliu has done so much for me in life, and he started listening to me, listing all the contribution to his education. You see now? Yeah. To his education. Yeah. They are largely education, first of all. You understand? So it's okay, I want to have something in her memory. And I said, okay, this is it. And we did it, and
it is big now.
It's very big. Wow. To the point that it's not the only ones. The only one, funding it. Aliu Trust Foundation, which is also a foundation for the husband of the late woman. They now also take
half
of
the
cost,
sponsorship,
and half and the other half.
Yeah.
And then we as Hilltop Creative Arts Foundation, we are also using the platform to also introduce prizes for the foundation. You understand?
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
For our numerous teen authors across the country.
Yes.
But it's not their money now. We will get sponsors for it. You know, the prize for the best in creative writing. Yes. Prize for branches.
Different categories. Yeah.
And then we look for sponsors like the current deputy governor. Yeah. Like my friend General Diko and some other people. But they are also awarded during years first.
Oh wow.
That's why.
Wow, this is so good to know. You're still watching Lina TV, and this is the interview, and we still have BM Dzukogi on our set this week, and we're talking education. We're talking about him as an educationist and also what he has contributed in the development of Nigeria, in the lives of our young people in Nigeria. So I'll take a short break, and when we come, we'll conclude on our thoughts and we'll call it a day. Welcome back. You're still on the set of the interview brought to you by Elena Media Limited, and this is Lina TV, and we still have our daddy on our set, and he is none other but BM Dzukogi, and we call him Uncle Baba. Uncle Baba, well seated. We don't feel like letting you go, but definitely what has a beginning must definitely have an end. But before we conclude, let's put our thoughts together. You have already highlighted some of the challenges in education, who to be blamed and all that. I want us to talk about what are their solutions to these problems, especially recently the new commissioner for education has been on tour to schools, especially basic schools, primary and as well as secondary schools in Niger State. And I know our crew went there, and most of them came back feeling really sad. Now we have a new government. There is a new sheriff in town. And I know that they are still trying to put together and then know what they can do for Niger State. And you are a stakeholder, and I know that you already are familiar with the problems concerning education in Niger State. What are your, for instance, profile solutions for some of these problems, like the dilapidated schools, like the teachers' remuneration that is poor, and all of those things? Can you let us share in your wealth of knowledge?
Okay, if the commissioner is going around, that's a familiar routine. Yeah. Even before she was sworn in, I knew she would go around. So that's not even what interests me. Yeah. Secondly, even if the commissioner is willing to do, and the governor is not willing to do, zero. So say. If the governor is willing to do, and there is no resources to do it, that's also zero. Even though it is compulsory on him to look for the resources to do them. Okay. So this is the chain. You understand? Once the governor is not ready, we won't get the result. If the commissioner is not ready, we can get the result because she can be removed and put somebody who will do it. You understand? So the teachers are practically helpless because we know the situation in schools. So me as an individual, I do not blame
the teachers.
Neither do I blame the students. You cannot, parents are looking for escapist ways, and they say even the children in the society now are unserious. They are not reading, they are rascals and the rest of them. as an educationist, I just look at those people and then muse to myself inside. So who taught them these things? You who is good. Were you born good? Even though children are born clean, but I mean, some adults trained you.
Very well.
How much of it have you done today? On the current children. The children have picked what the parents are doing, and then the parents are coming back to blame them. You see, it's zero now. There's no justice here.
That's true.
In any case, children are supposed to be guided by adults. And during our time, majority of the children were good. Even the ones that were so-called bad were performing excellently.
That's true.
It's also some small things that they are doing, and they later on change in life. So if the resources is there, the governor or the government, the Niger State government, let me be specific now, must create resources, must go and look for the resources. And then you have to have a design of overhauling the entire system, into the structural system in schools. You know, recently I also started advocating that even the curriculum should be overhauled. You understand, including degrees, because to have 4 years in secondary school, which is just a mockery of what of the time they stay in, and not secondary school, university, which is a mockery of the time, the period they stay in, because you can't, nobody spends 4 years in Nigerian universities and graduate.
No,
anymore.
Yes, anymore.
You see now.
Not anymore.
So it is 5 years, 6 years and upward.
I ran a master's program in Jos. I spent 6 years running a master's
when
program.
I got to the 70th, when I got to the 70th year in Zaria, I abandoned it.
Oh wow.
You see now, these are some of them. So the issue is that the governor or the government has vowed to lead the society.
That's true.
And every problem, every liability and the rest of it is upon the government now to do, including education. Therefore, the structures must have to be fixed. The learning environment. Excellently. But if we cannot do excellently, let's just make them habitable. You understand? Bring back the libraries, bring back the laboratories, make education functional by concentrating more on the skill than just memorization of books. That's why I talked of overhauling the curriculum and reducing the number of years. Because I know, for one, that the things they taught me in COE, I had learned in Wushishi Teachers College. Because PHE was compulsory for every child in the college that time. Meaning I have repeated some. Going to the university again, is still, many things were repeated, for God's sake. Let's remove these things and then provide the basic thing. The world now is a world of speed and precision. You must be speedy and must be accurate. If these principles do not, govern you in technology, it means your own productions will always be obsolete. In technology now, it doesn't take up to 6 months before you start seeing new products. So our education must focus on this, and therefore make practical more important than the certificate, the memorization of books that we do all the time. This is the only way that you can empower graduates, empower young people in society that went to school. And once they are empowered, it means they can live a life of their own. And when they live a life of their own, the burden on the government and the adults in society reduces, because they are now independent people. Even rigging will reduce. Rigging during elections will reduce. Because you are no longer dependent on government for life. You are not dependent on any politician for a living. So you can take decisions of your own. And vote for the right person. You understand? So this is it. Let's provide functional education to our children so that they can be functional after school. But government should fix public schools with all the requirements And then that's the only way we can have a proper growth in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. My next question will be direct to the family. How do you cope with the time you spend on your children, that's now extended children everywhere in Nigeria, and then your biological? Do you have time for the family? How do you unwind?
Well, I now have time for them.
Okay. Now.
Because I remember when Sadiq was in primary 4.
Yes.
And you couldn't read. My wife, I came back from Ikebelo one day.
Yes.
And they, after HCAF, and then she said, please, I want to talk to you. You know, it's I'm not a lord in my house.
Yes,
all right?
yes.
So it's a filial environment.
Yeah.
And that, then she collected a book from the table, which is Sadiq's reading.
Yes.
I think she kept it there and waiting for me.
Yeah.
And then called Sadiq and said, read. Sadiq couldn't read. He says, so you are taking care of people's children.
Oh.
I tell you. And then I had to remove Sadiq from Hilltop here at primary 4. I took him to brighter schools.
Oh, yeah.
And before you know it, at primary 5, Sadiq was already writing poem.
Oh,
so it was all my fault. And
now he's a doctor.
He's a doctor and teaching poetry
and
creative writing in the US. That's one. I think when that was fixed, because other children didn't come to Hilltop again.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They went to they never went to Brighton, and then the other ones went to Imma. You know, we agreed with her that even though I was a teacher then, you understand, but we do small things. But that time I wasn't even doing anything that looks like this anyway. I was just going to classes and teaching children art and the rest of it. That we must spend all we have for the children's education.
Oh, wow.
Even if we have nothing left. Truly, and that's how we are running now.
Wow.
That's how we are running now. In fact, we're in it now because I had to also take my children to a private university in Sokoto as pioneer, even though Sadiq is also sponsoring one. And then some other, where they finish because of Zakia's performance.
Yeah.
You know, she's also generating support from the school. You know, so Sadiq was the chief complainant, more than the mother. Later, when he realized that, because once we go for literary activities and the rest of it, or we gather like this, he would just walk in and then ask these children, Alima and the rest of them, you know, you people are lucky. And then they will ask him, what's the love? He say, you have your own fathers and you have taken my father.
And that's true.
He has always said that.
Yes.
You understand? Well, because truly, because I'm the one gathering them, you know, there is this consciousness of not, you know, paying attention to him, so that nobody accuses you of focusing on your children, even though that didn't even escape. So I've got to continue to, you understand? Yes. So this is the issue. So there's time now. Okay. There's time now that there are grandchildren. All right. We retire, and then this place is there. Yeah. It's not all the time. Yeah. You understand? So we have time. Then my wife is also doing something that is similar. Yeah, that's true. She also has her own foundation. Yes, very well. So no wahala now. Do your own. Once there's a convergence, we do. Yeah. All right. It's good to know that at least you now have time for the family. And so finally, sir, as a human being and as a man who feels fulfilled that at least you have impacted in the life of the young Nigerians, what would you want to be remembered for? Oh, it is living in them. And the signs are there in the young people, you understand? Yeah. That one has made a small contribution to society, where the growth of whatever that is going on there will continue even after him. That's all. Nothing much, except for my books, but doing some other things that are even God does not like. Yeah. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure having you on our set today. Our prayer is that may posterity judge you aright, even after the hereafter.
Yes. So this is where we draw the curtain. This is where we draw the curtain. It feel like not going, but we have to go definitely so that we can be able to come back some other time.
Yeah.
Yes. So it has been Lina TV, and this is the interview. We had just finished speaking with BM Dzukogi, a literary icon, an educationist par excellence, and he has really shared with us all that we need to hear. And I hope and pray that government listens and acts on some of the solutions that he has profiled. Until I come your way again next week, please keep a date with Lina TV. See you next time.